I want to talk to you, and I really wanted to have you on because, like you just said, there has been a big push on social media with veganism, especially with women. How do you start that conversation in a way that's, one, respectful towards vegans, but also informative?
So vegans, they're so right about their intention. They want to do well, right? The intention is harm less animals, do more good in the world. That's great. I want to do the same thing. And I think that they're going about it all the wrong way, right? Because if you break it down at every level, I think that it doesn't really hold up to intellectual scrutiny. So if you start with the health level, because we're talking about the health of humans, the health of women and men, fertility, whatever we were trying to manifest in our lives, whether it's clear skin, weight loss, energy, libido, fertility, all these things, you can see that there are unique nutrients in meat that you just cannot get from plants. You just can't get them from plants. And so where does a vegan get creatine, for instance? This nutrient that many men know about, but women don't necessarily know about. But creatine is essential for muscle recovery. I mean, if a woman is doing Pilates or yoga, or a man is lifting weights, they know about creatine. But again, like, you get it from meat and animal products. It doesn't exist in the plant kingdom. It doesn't exist. And it's been associated with improvements in intelligence. So you can take vegans or vegetarians who don't have much creatine in their diet, and you give them 5 grams of creatine per day. And then you retest them in terms of card sorting tasks and memory tasks, and they get smarter. So creatine is this central nutrient for humans. It's probably the single most studied nutrient in terms of ergogenic supplements, which is a fancy word we use for like muscle building and recovery and even for brain health. And again, it's not present in plants. And that's just the first one. We've got carnosine, carnitine, anserine, taurine, vitamin K2, B12. The list is so long. And then you look at the bioavailability of minerals, for instance, magnesium or zinc or iron. So many women are anemic, or they're subclinically anemic. They don't have enough iron because the iron in plant foods is not an organic form of iron. It's not heme iron, which is an iron in sort of this porphyrin ring, which is a fancy word for basically the middle of your hemoglobin molecule. The hemoglobin is this porphyrin ring, which holds an iron. And the human body is sort of built to absorb iron in that fashion. So there's all of this sort of story and like history written into us as humans that we've been prioritizing meat for our whole evolution. And you're right. It's been programmed out of us through vegan documentaries and people believing or hearing a story, which I think is false, that meat is not good for you or not good for the planet. But when you really look at it, it's so nutritive for us, and it has so many essential nutrients that allow us to thrive. I mean, that's what you were saying, that you felt better with it.
But why do you, so the pushback that you might have against people that have eliminated meat from their diet completely, why would you maybe tell them to think about reincorporating?
So like we said earlier, I think the beginning of the conversation is empathy. And I think that a lot of people have eliminated their meat from their diet for the right reasons. They were being intentional. I love it when people make intentional food choices, because I think the hardest thing, we were at HEB last night filming content. And I think the hardest thing for me is when I see people who are not intentional with their diet at all. They're just sort of going about it as a zombie. They're just grabbing chips off the aisle and not even thinking about it at all. So I love it when people are vegetarian or vegan, because it means they've made an intentional choice. They've said, I'm not going to eat this food. Great. That's step 1. Step 2 is making sure that you are making that decision based on the proper information. And that's where I want to add to the conversation and hopefully help make people curious and allow them to think, am I making this decision to eliminate meat from my diet based on the proper information? Or did I watch a vegan documentary on Netflix, which may or may not be the full story? So that's what I hope to bring to the equation, is there's a lot of evidence that meat and organs especially, which we can talk about, things that have really been left out of the human diet, are so beneficial for humans.
Yeah, I went to dinner. I was just in New York City yesterday, and I was at dinner the night before, and I was sitting with someone, I won't say who, and they were telling me that they eliminated meat from their diet within the last 2 years. And I was like, I just asked them, curious, I don't care, but I was, and I still ordered a steak. I said, why? And they said, well, the daughter showed me this documentary on Netflix and was really passionate about it. And I was
Everyone says that.
I said, well, do you feel better? Do you feel different? Were you working on a health condition? And it was really like, no, but after seeing that and being told, and we're talking about somebody that's almost like 55 years old and has been a meat eater throughout his life. And that was kind of the explanation. And to me, it just sounded strange, because I was like, well, you've got that one piece of information and have kind of disregarded all the rest. And if it's a moral issue, I don't care. If it's a conscious, but it was just literally because of that thing. And I just thought it was kind of strange.
It's difficult because not everyone is a doctor and can go to PubMed, right?
Sure.
Not everyone can go to the internet. I mean, you can go to Google Scholar, but the internet is a strange place now, right? I mean, social media companies definitely lean left. So your media is going to lean left. You're not going to see a study on CNN or even probably on Fox News talking about the benefits of red meat. I mean, the FAO just came out with something that said that meat is essential for optimal human health and provides unique nutrients.
You're not going to see even a study on any of those shows saying that exercise could be beneficial.
Right.
So like if they're not telling you that, then you're definitely not telling you about the diet.
Yeah. Or vitamin D or any of these things.
Yeah.
And so there's no lifestyle stuff on there unless it aligns with their overall narrative, which is that meat is bad for the environment. Therefore, you should not be eating it. I mean, one of my people on my team was just showing me something. Eric Adams, the mayor of New York, was bloviating about, we know that meat is not good for humans. And we know that plant-based diets are better for health and the environment. And I just thought, we know? Like, that is far from settled. That is a very interesting conversation. And here's this guy sort of crusading.